All right, let the madness begin. Reporting out here at the Democratic National Convention, trying to talk to some people, get a beat on what's going on. We got a special guest here, and what's your name?
Jay Ponti.
Jay Ponti. And what do you do?
I am a peace activist, and I've been sort of an operative within the political revolution.
And what is your take on what's going on with this election, and specifically with the Democratic National Convention?
Well, I think let the madness begin is a very apt way to describe it. But I think what we're seeing here in this very moment is what some of us have been trying to communicate to people in Washington, that the populist rage caused by the vast income inequality gap, the fact that people are angry and desperate, we've been trying to communicate to them that this was going to come. You know, even some of the one percenters have been seeing that the pitchforks are coming. You know, it's because legislation like Citizens United, we have been seeing that people just cannot make enough money to live off of.
It's an independent documentary.
Hey, buddy.
It'll be somewhere. Oops, sorry.
You want to start that over real quick? Or?
No, you keep going, man. It's live stream.
Okay, good.
It's fine, man.
Oh, it's live. All right. Good. Anyways, yeah, people are just really angry. They're really angry. They're really desperate. I think we've seen that. I think a lot of people knew that the system was rigged to some degree, but this has been the first time with Bernie Sanders that the establishment has really significantly been challenged to a large degree. And we saw the lengths that they went to we saw this with the Associated Press declaration of Hillary winning. We saw this with 160,000 people stripped from the voting rolls in Brooklyn. We saw this in California, where there was 2.5 million uncounted ballots, and they declare Hillary the winner. I mean, it's madness. We've seen now, because of WikiLeaks, we know that the DNC had their thumb on the scales, which we knew from the beginning. Apparently, we don't look like tinfoil hat wearing crazy people anymore. And I think that it's going to continue in this way. I think we're seeing endemic racism with the school to prison pipeline. So you're having a convergence of movements happening right now, and you're seeing it with Black Lives Matter movement. You're seeing this with Democracy Spring. You're seeing this with Brand New Congress. And my wish is that the Democratic establishment understands where this goes, how this movie ends, and chooses to work with the progressive movement to adopt a progressive platform so that this energy is channeled in a positive way, and that we can actually represent the people, not the corporations that they work for.
You know what? I was just about to ask you, where do we go from here? And you just explained it right there. You just explained it. How about you promote yourself and the organization you work for right here, right now, because this is a guy whose voice needs to be heard more. So do your best at promoting, who you are and, your organization.
Well, I would say that when you said special person, I don't believe I'm a special person. I think what's special is the tens of thousands of people that are showing up here in Philly, the hundreds of thousands and millions that have gone to extraordinary lengths, sacrificed money for haircuts to give $27, been really inventive, created media on their own, and showed up to protest and march together, and that, I believe, is what's special. I have been really blessed to work with a group of the people that have worked with the campaign called Bernie's Avengers. So we helped on something called Bernie's Diner, which was turning an iconic LA diner where they shot The Big Lebowski and Reservoir Dogs into a center for political activism, where they've been Team Bernie LA. Team Bernie LA also really did a lot of work to create that space, and they were running canvassing and phone baking out of there every day, but it was a really incredible statement to see psychedelic Bernie murals on Wilshire and Fairfax in Los Angeles. And that was really special. But I was the lead organizer on the Hillary George Clooney protest, the Clooney Counterparty.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty extraordinary day. But other than that, I'm a peace activist. I produce the UN Peace Day broadcast and every year, and I help to engineer social activist coalitions and bring visionary leaders together, for peace and social justice.
Well, as you can see, this is the reason why he was one of the speakers at the Burning Your Bus event. Now, we just want to give you our gratitude, and we appreciate you for taking the time out.
Can I actually mention one thing about Burning Your Bus? So I believe this is really important. This country needs a pathway. The two-party system is broken. I believe that there is a strong pathway to an independent third party, a viable one. And I would encourage anyone who is a Burn Your Buster. Burn Your Bust was a very vibrant strategy for the convention. But moving forward, the necessity to be Burn Your Bust carries with it a very solemn commitment and promise to continue the revolution. That is, you can't just to be a Burn Your Bust on its own sake because you're angry. There's no wisdom in that. But to create a voting bloc, an organized voting bloc where people are together, you're organizing on the local level, the state level, the national level, to say that we will not vote for Hillary Clinton, we're not going to vote for Hillary Clinton unless she adopts a true progressive agenda and commits to it, which a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that. And primarily, I would say in swing states. If you don't live in a swing state, if you live in California, most likely my vote is going to them or Vermin Supreme. Vermin Supreme! Hey, Vermin! This guy, and Vermin Supreme might get my vote.
All right. Oh, this dude right here?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, man.
Okay, very nice.
This is Vermin Supreme, and I believe that his platform of Ponies for Everyone, that could be the thing that unites us all.
Indeed. America needs ponies. America loves ponies, and I'm the only candidate who will give each and every American a free pony. Granted, it is a federal pony identification system. You must have your pony with you at all times, but it's a pony!
Ponies for America.
Everybody loves ponies.
Yes.
You see, Trump wants to spend all that money to build a wall.
When everybody could have
Why
a pony.
don't we spend the money on ponies?
Exactly, sir. You get it.
I think you're a visionary.
Yes. Once we switch over to a pony-based economy, everything is going to be super wonderful. Okay.
I see feed. I see an emerging economy with the oat economy,
Absolutely.
the oat production.
Absolutely.
I
we're going
see
to
a
harness
big
all
future
that
in
methane gas for fuel consumption. We're going to lower our dependence on foreign oil. We're going to retrofit Detroit to be creating the most amazing pony-based and pony-friendly transit systems in the world.
I'm going to lobby you now, though, on grass-fed ponies because the grain-fed ponies,
Hey!
the grain-fed ponies leads to climate change. So,
I said, hey!
Yeah.
I said, hey! Okay, or just silently.
Hey.
Hey!
Hey.
I said,
hey. Got it. Do you want to say anything else?
Well, let's get of course, I'm Vermin Supreme.
This is a real presidential candidate.
The friendly fascist, a tyrant you could trust, and you should let me run your life because I do know what is best for you. All politicians are vermin. I am the Vermin Supreme, and that is why I'm the most qualified candidate in this race at this time. I will lie to you because I have no reason not to. I am a politician, and I have no reason not to. I will promise you anything your heart desires because you are my constituents. You are the informed voting public, and I have no intention of keeping any promise that I make. Vote early, vote often, and remember, a vote for Vermin Supreme is a vote completely thrown away. Friends, gingivitis has been eroding the gum line of this great nation of ours for long enough and must be stopped. For too long, this country has been suffering a great moral and oral decay in spirit and in incisors. A country's future depends on its ability to bite back. We can no longer be a nation indentured. Our very salivation is at stake. So won't you join me now as we bite the bullet and brace ourselves as we cross over the bridgework into the 23rd century. May we become a sea of shiny, smiling, shiny, smiling, smiling, shiny, 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 smiling, 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 shiny, 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 shiny faces from sea to shining sea. Thank you.
This makes so much more sense to me than the neoliberals in the Democratic Party.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, does that not make a lot more sense?
Oh, no, it does.
I mean,
it does.
Then
make
the bombs
more
are
sense.
dropping. Then the ties to the fossil fuel. They're pushing for fracking. They're pushing for the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I was actually in Orlando at the Democratic Platform Committee and saw Hillary Clinton's whip Carol Browner absolutely demolish, work at every turn to demolish the progressive agenda put forth by the Sanders surrogates. And actually, that makes a lot more sense to me, because when we support fracking, when we support natural gas, you're actually contributing to climate change, climate crisis, which is killing our planet. I mean, you see the forest fires, you see 129 degrees in the Middle East right now. It's insane. It's insane, you know? So yeah, let's just stop dropping bombs on people. I'm just saying it's a better move. Don't drop bombs, and I'm kind of with the ponies for everyone platform.
Speaking of,
I might be I maybe not be as. I mean, I love Jill, but I don't know. He might have won my vote.
Speaking of dropping bombs, like what is the consequence of that type of activity from our government? Like, what's the consequence of that?
Well, I think it's extremely complicated. It's a very it might be difficult to understand, but when you drop bombs on people, they hate you.
Oh, man, that's mind blowing.
So
who would have ever thought?
So you bomb people, they hate you. They want to bomb you, so you bomb them,
and
like,
so
like
on
that.
and so on.
So that, and I mean, I think they are very sensitive when we move in and take their natural resources. They may be just. I would ask yourself, if it were happening, if whatever you're seeing, if it were happening in the United States, would it be okay? If there was a drone that struck, would you be okay with that? And if China or Russia moved into the United States and started extracting our natural resources, would you be okay with that? And if you would not be okay with that, then it's probably not okay for the United States government to do. I don't want to get crazy,
But why do you think there's a lot of Americans that don't see a problem with that, or don't want to see a problem with that, even though you put it so simply?
I think it's very difficult. There's something called cognitive dissonance, cognitive distortion, and that means that when we need to buy into a belief system, a narrative, a story, and when you understand what's really happening, the only recourse when you do the math is that we have to organize and we have to unite and we have to sacrifice a little, change our lifestyle to really make the change. And most people have a difficult time because they're just trying to make ends meet. They're working their jobs, they're trying to pay off their student loans, they're trying to raise their kids. And to really do this, to really mobilize and take to the streets and call your congressman and stay in there to be committed requires a lot of sacrifice. It requires a lot of effort, and also it's easier to mentally block that out of your mind than to accept the reality, accept the information that we have, and take action on it.
All right, there you have it. We got some strong voices out here, camped out at the Democratic National Convention, and we appreciate your insightful words and stopping by and having a word with us, and probably see you at some events later on this week.
Don't lose the faith. Don't succumb to defeatist, negative thinking. If you think that this election was about one candidate, if you think this campaign was about electing Bernie Sanders, he has said from the very beginning it was never about Bernie Sanders. It was about, it's better if Bernie's president, let's be real. But it was about millions of people coming together to demand change, to create a political revolution. And so it's here. And I think this is a great, great step forward. I think we can communicate with everyone simultaneously with one message. We have access to unlimited information. And Bernie Sanders has also brought together the most incredible group of leaders and movements. And I think that we have very tough times ahead, that there's no question. But at the same time, the amount of Bernie Sanders has changed this country forever. He proved that you can fundraise the most well-oiled political machine on the planet through crowdfunding. It's never been done before. He has changed everything forever. He has created an entirely new standard for this millennial generation that you realize that you can have morals, you can have integrity, and still be in public service. And so I think the future looks bright. So keep burning. Don't lose the faith.
Thank you.